Hello there. I'm History of the Flash, but you can call me JD.
Ahoy, I'm Comic Hunter, also just Hunter.
And we're joined by friend of the show, collaborator on comics, Drew Dennis of Dennis Designs. Drew, welcome back.
Yo, what's going on?
Good to have you back on. We are down Tyler and Harper this week, so we reached out to Drew and had him on the show to talk Nightwing, Flash, Planetized X-Men, Venom, and more. So
yeah, Drew's been on the show before, but it's been a long time.
While.
Yeah,
it might have been a year.
Yeah, it might have been a year or something like that. But he reads all the comics we read, so he's going to join the discussion this week. Tyler, if you look up, or I guess everyone's probably seen this by now, he's going through what Kevin was going through in Home Alone 2 right now. So that's why Tyler couldn't make it. He's planning traps in like an abandoned house in New York. And if you look up the movie Kangaroo Jack, that is what Harper's doing right now. He's in that situation. And so he just couldn't make it this week. He sent some voice messages while chasing down a kangaroo wearing a hoodie. But unfortunately, he gets to get that kangaroo, man. He's chasing it down. So understandable. So right now we're just two people down, but Drew's going to join us.
Yeah, I like to have Drew on the show because he's one of the only people I know in the comic community that's reading Geiger as well as me. So it's nice to have a fellow appreciator of art and culture.
I mean, if you're not reading Geiger, you have to catch up. It's a really
Thank
good.
you.
I don't have anyone to back me up. I don't have anyone to back me up.
Speaking of Geiger, that brings me into the reviews of the week, and
Harry
I was going to read them off
to review.
We got 4 reviews this week. The first one's very short. It's a 5-star review, and it's from the username The Other Geiger Buyer, and it says "Stop the Geiger slander." So listen, the people demand more Geiger. I'm just saying, I'm delivering what the people want.
Hunter, you would love it. Like you gotta catch up. I think you would really like it.
Catch up. I haven't even started. I wasn't planning on reading it, but
3 issues.
I know.
I think if you read it, you'd be pretty disappointed that you weren't in it in the jump.
It's a fun book, and the Gary Frank art is great. Like it brings me back to like reading Doomsday Clock. Honestly, like with some of the panels, I'm like,
well, it's very simple.
I get the 2017 vibes, and I'm like, oh man, I miss those days.
Really simple, like, and I want to see it as a show. I think it will be a show eventually. Maybe
only
HBO.
3 issues.
But that's the thing about these indie comics now. They're all setting up TV shows. I said the same thing about Once in Future. Like I read like 2 issues of Once in Future, and I'm like, this could be a show.
Okay, did you guys watch Jupiter Ascending?
No.
I had no interest in that.
No.
You got canceled pretty quick.
Not a big Mark Millar fan. So.
But the spinoff is greenlit. I thought that was so weird.
So bizarre.
Huh.
I don't know.
What other reviews?
Yes, I got other reviews. This one comes from Nick. He says 5-star out of 5 stars, 10 rings out of 10 rings. I'm not going to lie. I tried listening to the podcast a year ago and I couldn't because I thought it was a weird concept to listen to people talk for an hour. But this month I started binging the episodes of the podcast and it is amazing. It has personality, love, and a lot of good comedy. It is the first podcast that I listen to and will probably be the only one I will ever listen to because I love the subject, all the hosts, and it feels like I'm in a full-on conversation with friends. I definitely recommend everyone I know would enjoy, aka my girlfriend and I.
Aw.
Thank you, Nick.
Nice.
And thank you, Nick's girlfriend, for listening to the show. When I started listening to podcasts, I thought it was weird too, because like it could be a little weird to hear people just kind of talk. But if it's the right kind of podcast, you know, it could feel like you're in on the conversation. So
yeah, I guess it is a weird concept when you think about it. I've been listening to podcasts long before we started our podcast, so it was never really strange for me. And I even went to school for radio, but it's a good point. Yeah, it is a strange concept.
It could be a little weird. This was
the first one I listened to.
Really?
I didn't listen to any podcasts before this.
Wow,
yeah.
We got you into it. There you go.
Now I listen to like 3 or 4. So.
Well, I remember
Hero Stories, the gateway.
I really wanted a comic book podcast to be out there, and at the time there was a Word Bubble. And there was the Comic Storian one that barely happened when we first started.
Word Bubble's great.
Word Bubble is great, yeah.
But it's very long. It's very tough to listen to like 4-hour episodes.
Yeah, that was the thing. So
I remember I would work an 8-hour shift and they would allow us to wear earbuds. So I would listen to it at work, but 4 hours is a long podcast.
Yeah, no kidding. Usually the podcasts I listen to are an hour long. And this podcast here is usually 2 hours.
when we started the podcast, remember episode 1, I was like 30 minutes strict.
Yeah.
But you know, that certainly changed. But I
Now
do
we
prefer the
average 2
shorter
hours.
episodes.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to get into a show when it's not as, you know, long of an episode, because you can think, all right, I'll sample it. You know, if I lose an hour, I lose an hour. But
I don't think we'll ever do a 4-hour episode.
God, I hope not.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
I could barely stay intact for you know, 2 hours. Oh God.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to Climbing Guy. This one's not really a review. Sean, the Climbing Guy, you may have heard of him. He said that he's graduating. Congratulations on graduating.
Congratulations,
And
Climbing Guy.
he said that it's got him thinking about this year, and he wanted to thank us for keeping him laughing through a very hard one, and that we're a highlight of his week. Sean, that means a lot. And you know, the fact that you haven't fallen while climbing, while Harper and, you know, is doing his little thing is great.
Speaking of little thing, I have a little thing that he sent me. I haven't listened to this yet, but he told me to play this during a little thing. So,
hello everyone, it's me, Jason Statham here. Although, you know, I have to admit something. I'm not actually Jason Statham. I've been a fraud this whole time. You see, my grandmother wasn't Hitler. My dad wasn't a bulldog, although he was a battleship. So there's that. And I have never been Jason Statham. It's all been a lie. I'm actually Colin Farrell. Hey, diddly dee, I'm fucking Irish or something. Fucking Colin Farrell, whoa.
I received that at 3:31 a.m. my time.
Jeez.
Wow, they did a fake Mandarin Iron Man 3 twist on us. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, no, I didn't at all.
I want to hear a Conor McGregor impression next.
That's what I thought he was going for at first.
Yeah, I did too.
A fucking peanut head.
Ooh,
The last review comes from Comic Kid, aka Robbie, and he says, "A hero story is truly the best thing to come out of the IGCC, and it's not even close."
Instagram comic community.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I've been watching since the live streams. Holy shit, that's a long time ago, Hunter.
Whoa.
and even then, the conversations between JD and Hunter were extremely entertaining. Then the show really came into its own when Harper and Tyler were added, and the host personalities began to shine. On top of being an S-tier source of entertainment and news, the show has been a huge inspiration for me, as the hosts were my 4 main inspirations for starting my account. Whether I was fucking with Harper as Monty, discussing Marvel with Tyler, getting tips from Hunter on how to better my art, or learning more about the Flash from JD, each of the hosts made a huge impact on me. Thank you guys for being my heroes, and remember, every second is a gift. Also, get Damian on as a co-host, or else we riot.
Oh no!
Oh, fat chance on Damian, but the rest of the review is great.
Good.
Thank you so much. Wow, I can't believe he's been watching since the live streams. God, that's so long ago. That's 2017, right, Hunter?
2016, I feel like, even when we first started. For those who don't know, when Instagram first came out with live streams, I did one, and then JD joined, and he like requested to join, and that was like, I never even knew what JD even looked like. And he joined. He wasn't
ready for all this.
Yeah, he joined the podcast, and he was in a stairwell.
I was in my college dorm, and I went to a stairwell.
I was in that live stream.
Were you?
I remember that.
Oh yeah, because I remember you've been here since forever, really.
Drew's followed me like in the first few months of my account. Like, I feel like I've known him for so long.
And during those live streams, we would just talk about the comics of the week. That's all we would do. And then we decided to make it like, we should do this every week, because it was very entertaining. And we had like maybe 14 viewers at the time. So we ended up doing it every Thursday. And then eventually we're like, hey, what if a
commenter said, like, you guys should do a podcast? And we're like, yeah, we should.
Yeah, it's like, okay. And we took that way too seriously.
Way too seriously.
3 years later, we're still doing
3 years later.
Yeah, but thanks for the reviews. Now, I guess if this is your first time here, hi, we've been doing this 3 years, and it is a comic book podcast where we talk about all the comic book stuff, including news of the week, which we're going to start with. But before we get to the news of the week and then the comics of the week, Loki episode 2 dropped. We are not going to be reviewing each episode individually, I don't think. I think we'll just do like a
season, like how we did for Falcon and Winter Soldier and
WandaVision. Yeah, so I think when the season finale happens, then that week we will talk about everything Loki. But until then, Harper did send me a Loki prediction. I haven't heard it yet, so I'll play it here. So I don't know if he's going to spoil episode 2 or not, but if you haven't seen episode 2, I also have a theory. It might match his, so I'm going to say it real quick. I think the timekeepers are bad, and the TVA are people that have been taken and mind wiped, essentially. And I told Drew this last night because Drew and I were in a call last night for a few hours, and we were talking about Loki.
It sounds too much like WandaVision, though. That's the only thing.
It does, yeah. But the fact that Owen Wilson, Morbius, he keeps talking about the 90s like way too much. Talking about how he likes water skis. He's never done it, but he loves it. He loves the concept and everything. It's like, maybe he's actually a guy who lived in the 90s. And he's, it does sound like WandaVision. I'm saying it again. Yeah. Anyways, here's Harper's prediction, which I have not listened to.
So my prediction for Loki this week, and we'll see if I end up being right. I predict that Loki is going to have a big set of balls, and he's going to say, "Look at my balls."
I didn't listen to it before playing.
And this is why we proofread, or we listen to them before they get submitted.
Not bad. He has another thing for Flash for the issue, but I might play that.
I hope
later
that's more
on.
serious.
Yeah. Anyways,
you know what? I just want to say one thing about Loki. It feels like with this show, it's very like straight to the point. Like it's like simple. A lot of it is just like them talking, and I feel like there's still gonna be crazy theories, but I feel like it'll be like if something crazy happens, it'll be when we least expect it. I think it'll be good.
God, I hope so, and it's not going to be one of those. Oh, Omega Red's going to be in episode 4, I guarantee it. And then,
I mean, you already have all the people talking about Kang the Conqueror, who's
that's
the
like
Time Master. Is he though?
Kill me now.
Yeah. Okay, now on to basically the start of the episode. News of the week. E3 happened this past weekend, or week in general. For those who don't know, E3 is basically Comic-Con, but for video games. There was a video game comic book, and I'm gonna rephrase that. There was a
comic book video game announced,
and something on Avengers. So for the comic book video game, there is a Guardians of the Galaxy game being made by Square Enix, who made the Avengers game. But they
woo!
But Square Enix in general makes a ton of different style games. So I mean, just because one part of them worked on Avengers doesn't mean that exact team is working on Guardians. So stay on your guard still. I'm not saying it's guard.
From the people who brought you Avengers, the game, present the next thing that you'll spend 30 seconds on and never want to play again.
Yeah, so, I mean, did you guys see the gameplay in the trailer for Guardians?
I saw it. It looked pretty good, but it looks like, I don't know. I didn't see like being able to play as like the other characters. I just saw Star-Lord.
You can only play as Star-Lord.
That's kind of dumb.
But you can, when you look at enemies, you can lock onto them and command the other Guardians to attack. So you could be like, Groot attack does a certain move with this person.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Well, what I do gotta say is the Marvel brand is just brilliant. I mean, if you think about it, that Guardians of the Galaxy went from like a C tier at best in like 2010 to being popular enough for 3 movies, a video game,
2 spin-off movies, Holiday Special, movies, and I Am Groot.
Like it's so impressive to me, and kudos to Kevin Feige and the rest of the Marvel masters, because you turned, I mean, that's the power of the MCU, right? Mm-hmm. You turned a C-tier team into a household name. That's very impressive.
Exactly. Will they do the same with Eternals?
I was just gonna say that, hopefully, because I got that first appearance. So
yeah, you do. I don't think they will, though. I think Eternals might be a little too big. Guardians was very simplistic. It was a small team, and it was comedic based, which kind of was appealing to all audience. Eternals, massive team, serious, which sounds good to me, but for the general audience perspective, it might not be as. I mean, people will look at it and be like, "That's the guy from Game of Thrones," and that's why they'll see it essentially.
Yeah. Well, the thing with like the MCU is like Marvel doesn't miss. Like I'm honestly like I didn't care about Doctor Strange, didn't care about Captain Marvel, and like they weren't the best movies, but like they still landed. You know,
Doctor Strange.
That
is a comic book hunter 5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. I saw that.
I did every movie.
I started going through your Letterboxd. I'm like, all right, what does Hunter give 5 stars? I gotta say, it's pretty impressive that Avengers Endgame 4.5. Meet Dave with Eddie Murphy, 5 stars.
Meet
No,
Dave is okay. Sorry, go on. Drew.
when I first saw Doctor Strange, I saw it with my friend and I really liked it. And then I saw it with my girlfriend, and I was like the second time I wasn't really liking it as much. And she didn't really like it either.
Wow.
She actually didn't like him.
Interestingly, I thought it was okay in the theaters, but then ended up really liking it on rewatch. Maybe it was Hunter's influence, but like I genuinely like got interested in it on the rewatch.
If you
But then
scroll down on my Instagram page, Comic Book Hunter, one of my first posts is a Doctor Strange review. It was when the movie first came out, and I think I gave it an 8 out of 10. But now, honestly, upon rewatch, I think it's better and better and better.
You said it's the best solo movie in the.
I think it's the
or
best
origin movie rather.
Yeah, origin movie, because I do like Winter Soldier better, for example, but I prefer Doctor Strange over Captain America: First Avenger, and I don't count team up movies. I just think when a superhero is just starting out, so First Avenger, Iron Man. Thor,
I think it's
Black
definitely a
Panther.
top 3. I think Iron Man 1 takes the cake for me when it comes to origin movies, but
Which
I was gonna
it's
say-
fair. Yeah, I totally
but
understand.
I do really appreciate Doctor Strange, and I'm so excited for 2 with Sam Raimi. It's
Mhm.
Oh,
good.
2 is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be incredible.
Scarlet Witch and Sam
Oh.
Raimi. Yeah, it's a good setup for sure.
Tobey Maguire.
And that's our thoughts on the Guardians of the Galaxy.
And that's our thoughts on the Guardians of the
Doctor
Galaxy
Strange.
game.
Well, for the Guardians game, similar to Avengers, the gameplay looks fairly similar in a way. More gun action, of course. You could change the costumes of Star-Lord, probably the rest too, I imagine. Maybe you could change the costumes of everyone else, but as of now, I just know Star-Lord. I don't like how they did the movie roster.
Yeah.
It's
That
not
kind of-
surprising though. I mean, it's the
characters.
same thing with Avengers the game. You know, you mark it with what's
At
going to
least
sell.
Avengers game, they put Miss Marvel in to make it a little bit different, but like
Who would you have
Guardians-
wanted to see in
Yeah,
place?
well, the
who would you
Guardians of the
have?
Galaxy, they change so often, right? They're constantly changing. I think it would have been cool if you put other Guardians in here, even characters that you wouldn't know as a Guardian, like Wiccan would have been cool, for example. Or maybe, I mean, I understand with rights and whatnot, but Silver Surfer would have been nice. He's been a Guardian. Beta Ray Bill. It's just, I didn't expect
Put
them,
Wolverine
'cause-
in there.
Was he a Guardian?
No.
Okay,
Just
so
put him in there.
no. Well,
Listen,
I mean, I guess
Drew's
why
the
not?
Wolverine fanboy. He needs to throw Wolverine in everything.
But the thing is, though, like, it just seems kind of. I could see them adding it eventually, but the fact that they just did a movie team makes me like, okay, I understand for a marketing point of view, but why not add like another character or two? Why does it just have to be these
PlayStation
teams?
exclusive, Spider-Man.
I forgot about that. When are we getting Spider-Man in the Avengers game?
Never.
Did you guys hear there was rumors that Wolverine was gonna be like an Xbox exclusive?
I
It was a
did.
while
I
ago.
saw that rumor when the game was coming out for the
Yeah.
Avengers, but it didn't happen. So,
Yeah.
especially since the player base, I think it dropped like what 92% or something since launch.
Honestly,
only 92. I thought it would be like 98.
It might have been more than that, but
Who still plays the game?
no one.
Nobody.
I mean,
I never hear anything about it.
maybe people are going to jump back into it because there was another trailer at E3. That's the Black Panther trailer, where it's called War of Wakanda. Claw's going to be the villain, and you get to play as Black Panther and all the other characters in Wakanda to fight more robots.
Yeah, more robots. Exactly what that game needed.
I'll
Yeah,
definitely check that out though. I didn't check out the Hawkeye stuff, but I'll check the Black Panther
I
out.
played Kate Bishop's, and I thought it was very enjoyable. I didn't play Clint's just because I didn't I hear it's fine. I just don't really want to put the Avengers disc back in and download the update and then go through the extremely long loading screens to play another Archer. So
It looks like Cole from Infamous. That's every time I'd see him. That's what I thought.
Get that PlayStation exclusive. I mean, I like the costumes that they have for him, but the Avengers game. There was when the beta came out, JD, Tyler, and I played it together.
It was fun.
Remember that? Yeah, that was fun because it was just the betas. We're like, oh, the glitches will be fixed right away. They
Did
weren't.
you guys ever play it after it dropped?
Not together.
Not together, yeah.
I think I sent a message one time asking you guys if you wanted to play, and Hunter, you just put a laughing emoji. and that was it. I was like, all right.
Once I beat the game, I was
it's kind of like the
"Okay, I'm good."
Anakin and Padme meme that's going around right now. It's like the bugs will be out by the time the game releases, right? And then it's just Anakin staring at you, and it's like, right?
Right.
Yo, do you know that scene when they come out with the new suits, like the
Oh, at the end of
the end?
the Avengers. Yeah.
my game bugged out and they weren't wearing their suits.
Yeah.
At
So
that-
I think hard
and I'm like-
is too. I could be wrong about that.
And then slowly, as you're going through the level, they start wearing their suits like one by one. And it's
Yeah,
like,
well,
oh,
I mean,
well.
that sounds pretty common. I didn't like that scene where they're just like, "Do we say Avengers Assemble?" It's like, "Oh no, we don't say that." It's like, why not? I was like, come on, like, why not? Why can't you?
In a year, the game will be fun or somewhat more enjoyable. The more characters.
Just no one will be playing it.
Yeah. Next bit of news, I wrote down Morbius in the MCU. I probably meant someone else. I can't think of what though. I write down the news as they're coming out, so I'm just gonna skip that. Someone's rumor for the MCU, but
Oh, I remember what that was. One of the actors that's in Morbius was being interviewed, and he said something about
right,
being
yes,
in the MCU. But
yes.
it,
So
like, quickly got shut down.
yeah, one of the
couple hours
actors.
after.
Yeah, he said that Morbius is definitely in the MCU, and then Sony said that it's not. So is Michael Keaton just a new character? Is he not Vulture from the trailer?
Oh, it's kind of in that. But did you hear about the potential villain in the Craven movie?
No.
Chameleon. Apparently, he's going to be the villain. That was the rumor I saw.
Oh, okay.
I saw it today.
So it's a villain fighting a villain. I mean, I could see that Chameleon fitting for Craven. I mean,
As long as we're getting the Eminem exclusive song, I'm down.
yeah, exactly. I won't see it unless we get the Craven song. So
Craven got that Craven.
Speaking of things I won't see, Titan season 3 got a teaser trailer today. Did you guys watch it?
Who the hell cares?
I did. I saw it and I was like, I might actually check it out.
My friend texts me and he goes, "Dude, Titan season 3 is adapting Death in the Family." And I was like,
that's the only reason I'm interested.
I was like, "Did you watch season 2?"
I mean, I thought that was obvious. Weren't we getting Red Hood this season? Were there pictures of Red Hood?
I don't know. I got that text today and I was like, oh God, like Titans is just such a cluster. God, I mean, could you imagine a good Titans show? It shouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
How would you do it, JD? How would you do a good Titan show?
First of all, I
honestly
wouldn't have made it a Titan show. I would have focused on Brendan Thwaites. Thwaites? That I pronounce the last name? Thwaites?
Yeah, my life. I can't answer.
I think it's Brendan Thwaites. I would have focused on a Nightwing show around him because I think he's great as Nightwing. And then I would have slowly put some Titans in the Nightwing show and then do a spinoff. I think Nightwing is a perfect character for a show because Dixon's run runs like a TV show. So you could really adapt all those stories and then get into the Titans. But once you do the Titans, I mean, make it a little more like cheerful. I mean, God,
yeah,
it's like so dark for no reason.
You like for when you're making a superhero show, you got the Flash, which is lighthearted, which it should be. Say what you want about the Flash show. I mean, I know it's not as good anymore, but it should be like
beating me at Fortnite, Hunter.
No, okay. Daredevil. That's a dark show. It should be a dark show. Daredevil comics are dark. Titans. What dark Titans comics are there? There's not that many. It's usually a pretty lighthearted series. So the fact that it's such a dark show where Robin is dragging faces on broken glass is like, why?
I found the whole like Raven plot so uninteresting. They wasted Donna Troy. It's like you have all these great characters. I would have started simple, right? You got Dick, and then you start with like Roy, Wally, Donna. You know, you just simple Titans, and you kind of
like
make
the original Titans.
Stories.
Garth,
the original Titans.
Oh, Garth
Aqualad.
died in this too, didn't he?
Yeah, like
he was in one episode.
it got so complex, and I don't know. I would have introduced Starfire and Raven and Beast Boy all later in the show.
Yeah, but if you had to start with that first 4 roster, though, what would you do?
Again, I think I'd go a little bit more lighthearted. You look at the Teen Titans 2003 series; they were able to get dark themes on a lighthearted show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they made it much more like team based. Like whenever I watched Titans, I didn't really feel like they were a team. They kind of felt like individual characters that are kind of forced to work with each other. Teen Titans 2003 animated series is all about the team, you know? They live in the tower, like you really feel that bond, that chemistry, that family.
You still have like arguments with the team and them spreading out eventually, but in the end, it's a team. It's called Titans, not called a bunch of superheroes that are kind of in the same area.
Yeah.
Like, disappointing. I won't watch season 3. I'll look up a fight scene if people are saying, "Oh, you got to watch this fight scene." Then, besides that, I don't have interest. I tried. Okay, I watched all of season 1. I watched all of season 2 except for the finale. I never once liked it.
You know what's gonna? I already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna do like Death of the Family, and it's gonna be the Joker, but they won't show his face, and it'll just be disappointing.
Oh,
It'll
yeah,
just be like,
100%.
You'll just see the crowbar smacking him around, and you'll hear the laughing, but you'll never actually get the Joker.
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah.
And then you'll see Bruce being like, "Well, that was disappointing."
Yeah,
Son.
you'll see Bruce like 80 years old. Like,
Yeah.
Jason.
Jason died last night, and he couldn't even lift a bloody law.
Alfred?
Yeah, that's what.
And then Tim Drake is getting introduced like right away.
Oh,
I forgot
yeah.
about that. Oh God.
That's gonna be. I don't know. It's
Just
a
wait.
bit
Just
rough.
wait till the next season. They'll do Damian Wayne, guaranteed.
You know what?
Well,
Titans does one thing right, and it's the suits. I think the suits are really good in Titans.
I don't know about the Nightwing suit though.
I think it's decent.
It's too bulky. I
They
think.
could use upgrades, but I think
The
it's
best
good for what
Nightwing
it is.
adaptation we've gotten is that YouTube series by Isma Hawke. I don't know if you guys ever watched that. That
I
shit
know.
was
Oh, yeah.
fire.
That was really good. What about Chris O'Donnell? His Nightwing suit.
Fuck Chris O'Donnell. That whole franchise is terrible.
I like the DC animated universe Nightwing. Besides that, yeah.
The DC, yeah, but DC AMU is like so ruined by the last movie. Like they put him in the Lazarus pit. Like that was stupid.
Yeah,
Nightwing will never get justice.
never. Moving on with news of the week. The Flash had a teaser image of the front of the suit of just the Bolt. A lot of detail.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be happy to get rid of the wires on the current suit, but it is a lot going on. I mean, I'll be curious to see what the actual suit looks like.
I think
though.
it'll look better far away. Just like
Yeah.
so close up, it's like,
Yeah,
oh
agreed.
my god, that's a lot.
I mean, I was kind of getting like New 52 vibes from it. Like I felt like whenever Manupul drew the Flash suit, like it kind of was a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
The
I
Jim Lee lines, the new 50.
also when Eunice posted the yellow version of that, I literally like
I
shit
did-
myself, and I was like,
Yeah, I did too.
and I was like, oh, it's not real. Oh, but I was like, holy fuck.
they're actually doing Eobard. You think we will see? Well, who is the villain of this? Is there a villain?
There was a
It's
script
Batman
that was
and
released a while
Batman
ago.
and
Supergirl.
Supergirl and Flash in this one.
I
like-
thought I heard something about a female Mirror Master, but that might have been.
Yeah, that was rumored.
I know they just did that on the show, so probably not that.
Interesting
Yeah.
that we don't know the villain.
There was also a big rumor coming out recently that Grant Gustin is going to be in the movie, which I kind of expect at this point. After the Crisis cameo, I just expected at this point.
Do you guys? Are there any other movies that are being filmed right now that we don't know the villain for? Black Adam? Is there a villain for that besides Black Adam?
Well, I assumed it's kind of like the anti-hero, like
He's just gonna
Yeah.
fight himself.
Interesting that there's
where he's
things
fighting off
coming
the
out with no
slavers.
villains.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I don't think they want to do Eobard for this movie. I think if anything, he'll be introduced at the end. That being said, if you're going to do the death of Nora Allen, is it not going to be Eobard, or is it going to be that some mysterious man took my mother? Like, I don't know.
Oh, geez, she's just been kidnapped. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
No matter what they do, I'm not going to be satisfied.
Yeah,
It's-
Drew, you're like the world's biggest Flash fan. Sorry, JD.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, me
Wow.
and JD,
Wow. Wow.
The same. I feel like JD's like one of the only people I can like talk to about Flash and be like, oh wow, like you know the same amount I do.
Well,
I think we've read like the same amount of Silver Age, but everything 87 to now.
87 to present, we've read it all.
okay, you
yeah.
guys have both read it all. Okay, yeah, because I know you own like every Flash trade ever made, essentially.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single one out there. Aside from like the Impulse stuff.
Yeah, I was
but-
gonna say what about Impulse, but okay.
That's where I got him beat.
Yeah, he's got me beat, but besides that.
Last bit of adaptation news is the Lego Batman 2 movies in the works. A script is currently being made, and so far it seems to be approved at Warner Brothers. I like the first Lego Batman. I think.
Same here.
Oh, I really liked it.
Yeah. So
It's a fun movie. It's good for the kids, I think. Like my cousins loved that. You know, the little
It's good for
kids.
me. I loved it.
I loved all the references.
I was about to
just
say.
the different costumes.
Yeah, well, that's the
and,
best thing about like the Lego movies, that you get like references dropped that you're like, oh shit, the writer actually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, not just from the comics too, but there's movie references and just costume references. It's a ton. It's just really fun in general. Last bit of news, which everyone listening will already probably know about, is Tom Taylor is writing something at Marvel apparently, and he's announcing it when this episode drops, I guess. So,
Well, isn't he currently writing a Spider-Man title?
is he?
Isn't he doing like Friendly Neighborhood or Spidey or something?
What? I didn't know this. Maybe
I'm
he
like
is.
99% sure he's doing a Spider-Man title right now.
Are there only Spider-Man titles? The Chip Zdarsky one, the main one, and Nonstop Spider-Man?
I thought he had a Spider-Man. Maybe that was something old. But regardless, he's done Marvel stuff before. He's done a lot of X-23. He's done some X-Men stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
X-Men Red.
Yeah, X-Men Red. There you go.
And
so
now he's back.
Taylor's no stranger at Marvel, but yeah, he appears to be writing a new title. That man is like Bendis. He stays busy, man. He's writing like 10 titles at the same time. And I mean, I'm for it if he could keep up with it. I mean, he's going to be doing Nightwing, John Kent, Superman, and the Marvel title, and whatever Deceased things comes out at the same time. And I believe he does an indie book. That's a lot at the same time. But
Jeez, yeah, no kidding.
very impressive. I'm hoping for Captain America. If he's on Cap, I will be reading it.
I'm hoping for Fantastic Four, but I will love him on Cap, and I think it will be Captain America.
That would be huge if true.
Because that's the one book. Like Captain America ended a while back. Well, it was announced that it was ending like in February or something.
Well, you were the only person reading it. So,
I was literally their only consumer, and I dropped the book, and they were just like, "Uh-oh." So Patrick Gleason teased like 2 months ago a Captain America shield drawing. Is my camera glitching out?
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Okay, I saw that too. Spider-Verse, sorry. So
I thought it was my computer.
All right, let's do this one more time. My name is Hunter.
Yeah. So Gleason was drawing a Captain America shield. He posted on his Instagram, but he didn't say what it was for. And then the writer of Captain America left at issue 30, I think. So now no one's writing Captain America.
Tom Taylor and Patrick Gleason would be like a dream book.
Yeah. On Cap, I'll sub to that instantly.
It's definitely going to be Cap. If it's anything but Cap, I'll be surprised.
It's either Cap or something new.
I mean, Fantastic Four would be interesting too. I thought, is Slott not doing that anymore?
No, he still is.
Oh.
I feel like he won't have much left for some reason. I feel like he'll be done soon.
As far as like big Marvel titles that ended recently, there was Hulk, which Donny Cates is taking over, Venom, which is being taken over, and Captain America. I think that's it for Marvel titles that ended recently, unless they bring back. Oh, does Doctor Strange have a series right now?
Isn't it just the Death of Doctor Strange thing that they're doing?
Oh yeah. Does that have a writer? No, I think it does. Okay. Yeah, I guess probably Captain America.
Vision?
What if it's Vision? Tom
Taylor on Vision. I don't know.
The thing I'll say about Marvel is they give a 6-issue series to anyone. Like Gwen Stacy had one. Mary Jane had one.
It wasn't even Spider-Gwen. It was just Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, it was just Gwen Stacy. And I heard it was selling really well. Yeah. Issues 2 and 3 like sold out. I was like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. But yeah, oh man, Captain America would be cool. I don't know. I kind of trust Tom Taylor with any character. He really has shown great range. So yeah.
I'll probably sub to whatever it is. Namor does not have a book, but I don't think he'll get a book.
You never know.
He should.
No, someone's gonna play that clip of. I don't think Namor's gonna get a book over the Namor written by Tom Taylor coming to you.
Yeah, it's possible. I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's it for the news of the week. Comics.
Pick of the week, cover of the week. God, this is a hard one because I really loved both issues that I read. Cover of the week, I'm gonna go with Nightwing 81 because I do think it's a great cover. It kind of looks like a Weekend album cover. I don't know. That's the vibes I got.
Yeah.
As for my pick of the week, man, I really loved Nightwing and Flash this week. I think I'll slightly give it a Nightwing, but I really enjoyed both issues.
My cover of the week will go to The Mighty Valkyrie #3. It's got Loki holding both Valkyries
That's a
like
good cover.
puppet-like.
That's a
I thought
good
it was a
cover.
really cool cover right when the solicitations came a few months back and I saw it.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
is
cool.
super cool.
But pick of the week,
Who's writing it?
Jason Aaron's writing it. Continuing
okay,
Jane
that's cool.
Foster's story, and it's really good.
Nice.
As far as pick of the week, I gotta give it to Nightwing as well. Although everything I read this week was really good, but God, Taylor's Nightwing is so good. I gotta give it to him. So, what about you, Drew?
Cover is probably gonna be Nightwing. Really like that. Pick of the week is probably Flash for me.
Flash is it's great. It's really great this week.
Totally understand that. Yeah.
But definitely cover Nightwing.
What do you guys want to review first? You want to go with Nightwing first?
Probably Nightwing first.
Yeah, Nightwing.
All right, Nightwing 81. Tom Taylor's what is this, 4th issue in the book?
Yeah, because this is part 4.
I've given him 3 10 out of 10 so far, and this week does not disappoint. We get the first showdown with Heartless, which already an interesting villain. I love the art on this one too. Just Heartless in the fire like that. The mask is super cool too.
You must have quite the heart.
I could like picture the narration, but the panel that really sold it for me is when Nightwing throws the Eskrima stick at him and he just catches it like that.
Oh, that was awesome.
I could picture that.
Nightwing.
Like I could just picture that happening, and I was like, oh man. And Dick, like I've underestimated him. Like that was great. And Nightwing gets beat here. He gets a concussion, and Heartless is able to get away because he realizes Nightwing's weakness is he cares about the people. So Heartless blows up like a pier. It's up to Tim Drake Robin to get the kids away.
I love when Dick calls out Tim. He doesn't say Tim, he says Robin.
Yeah,
that was nice.
I love Tim appearing in this book. Like I think I mentioned that last Nightwing issue. I really missed the relationship between Dick and Tim that existed in the pre-52. I feel like it hasn't really existed in the new 52 Rebirth era.
Because Damian,
yeah, Damian's taking that role, so I'm happy to see it again. This page is great for me because it's 3 of my top 10 characters of all time. I mean, you got Tim, Dick, and Babs, so I really love to see it. Anyway,
on a lot of pages.
Yeah, the kids end up safe because a bunch of boats come by to save the kids from the pier. Nightwing wakes up and he's got a bad concussion. Babs is telling him to stay inside. One of my favorite dialogue pieces there is Tim goes, "Bitewing was pretty worried about you," and Dick goes, "Bitewing, that's actually a great name." Like I said, I can picture a lot of this just being like done in like live action. Like I can picture a lot of these lines being said. I think that's part of my favorite thing about Taylor's dialogue is it sounds very natural. It flows, you know.
But even then, he goes like, "But her name isn't Bitewing, it's Haley." And Tim goes, "You're really telling the people in this room we can't have 2 names?"
And Babs saying, "I have 3." And by the way, Babs has the Batman slapping Robin T-shirt. That's
yes, I love that so much. Why does this exist in the DC universe?
I love it.
That's great.
It's so good.
Like,
Babs tells Dick about Mayor Zuko, that Mayor Zuko's got stuff going on, and of course Dick wants to get right back out there, but he can't because he's got a concussion. But what will ever stop Dick Grayson? Nothing. He goes back out there in his suit, and Babs has a camera on his suit, and she's like, "You know, I can see you, right?" The panels like this give me definitely Fraction Hawkeye vibes, where you see like the Eskrima stick, like how it works with the arrows.
it reminds me of Lego, like instructions.
It's great though.
Yeah.
I really love that. Like that's so cool, and I think inspiring for us working on comics together. You know, like I really like panels like that.
Yeah. Place here.
Nightwing breaks into the building, and he's taken out by one of Zuko's guards. Of course, not helping his concussion. When he wakes up, he's got no mask on, and he literally goes, "Tied up," and hang on, I'm not wearing my mask. And Mayor Zuko goes, "Dick Grayson," and he's like, "You know me? I know you too." And he's like, "You're the daughter of Tony Zuko." And she goes, "No, I'm not. I thought I was for a long time, but I learned the truth. My real father is named John Grayson. I'm your sister." And the final panel is them staring at each other.
How do you feel about this?
It's a mislead, but I was thrown off. When I got to the end of this show, I was like, "Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming."
I don't know how I feel about it though. I don't know if I like that.
It's not real.
You don't think?
No way.
Could be.
I think it could be interesting.
I think
no
it
way
could
they're
be
giving
real.
Dick a sister.
I think it'd be an interesting dynamic. I don't know.
I mean, I thought it was interesting when they first introduced her as Zuko because I don't know if you guys read New 52 Nightwing, but New 52 Nightwing had one of Tony Zuko's daughters, and she was like kind of a love interest for Dick.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
So when they introduced this one, I was like, oh, okay, they're doing the Zuko daughter thing again. That's kind of odd. But now they're maybe making her the sister. I still think it's a mislead, but man, I really love this issue. I flew through it. Like I read it and I was like, man, the issue's already over. Like I want more.
You flew through it. So did you not see the Easter egg with the ships?
Oh, where they're naming the Nightwing creators?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they named Devin Grayson and Dan Jurgens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
nice.
stuff. Taylor has shown mad respect to previous Nightwing writers, and I like that he's not shying away from any previous Nightwing history. Like when Dick gets the concussion, Babs says like, "You have a history with head injuries," the Rick Grayson era.
Yeah.
Did you read all throughout that? Did you read Nightwing?
No, I dropped after the Rick Grayson stuff. I couldn't.
I think I made it a little bit further than JD, but yeah, I stopped eventually.
It was that bad?
It was that bad. Well, it's that bad because it's like you're buying a book called Nightwing to read about a taxi driver who likes to hang out in pubs. It's like,
how long did that last? Was that like 2 years?
Just about 2 years.
Too long.
Wow. That's wow.
And it was because DC really, really thought that it would pick up eventually. Like, no, we want to change Dick Grayson. This is the new Dick Grayson. It's gonna be a lot better. We just gotta keep this going. And eventually, people don't like it now, but they'll get used to it. Didn't get used to it. Sales dropped.
I remember when the rumor first came down the pipeline that KG Beast was gonna take Dick Grayson's arm.
Oh,
that was the first rumor that Dick was gonna lose his arm. I remember talking to you about that on the podcast.
Yeah,
like, well, that's stupid.
Yeah,
and then it ended up he shoots him in the head and he loses his memory.
Equally
stupid.
Rather the arm.
Nightwing, I don't know. Hey, Nightwing was kind of a mess in Rebirth because there wasn't like a consistent creative team. Tim Seeley, I mean, a lot of people seem not to like him in the Instagram community.
He started, right? Did he start?
Yeah, I like the Seeley Nightwing Rebirth stuff. I'm not saying it's groundbreaking. I'm not saying it's great, but it's enjoyable.
I'm saying it's great. I
haven't read all of Dixon's runs, so you know.
No, I haven't. I really like Sean as his love interest. I like Raptor as like a brother turned bad who became like sort of a villain in the end. And I love how
cool.
a side character in this run was Damian Wayne. I thought that was a great idea for a side character, since at the time he was only appearing in Teen Titans, which was a monthly book, and Nightwing was bi-weekly when it first started.
Yep. And people called Seeley's run boring. I didn't think that it was boring. I thought it was enjoyable. Yeah. But then after Seeley, it kind of went flying around. I think Sam Humphries ended up doing an arc.
He only did one arc.
A few writers who did an arc here and there, and then it just like it slipped away. I don't know what. I mean, it's hard to keep sales coming in when you don't have the consistent creative team. I mean, look at Wonder Woman.
Yeah. So I was about to mention that Wonder Woman changed, I think, 6 times.
So many different creative teams. So Nightwing was having that problem. They decided to do the Rick Grayson stuff, which everyone hated, and finally they moved on. Huh?
Well, I mean, it was King technically.
Like he start that? Like I know
he did it in the Batman title, and then Lobdell wrote a little bit of the Rick Grayson, if I'm not mistaken. He wrote like an arc.
I can't remember who started. I know Greg Capullo did the first few covers.
Yeah, Lobdell wrote a little bit of the Rick Grayson, and then Dan Jurgens did the rest, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, how is the New 52 Nightwing compared to like the start of Rebirth? Because I feel like
I like the New 52, but I'm biased because the New 52 was my first ongoing that I was reading a single issue. So
I like it too. I think it is good. It's not amazing, but it's good.
Kyle Higgins tried to do something different with Nightwing. And I actually met him at Terrificon, and he was a really cool guy. And he said like,
you were telling me
he wanted to try to do something different with Nightwing. He owned the circus, which was an interesting concept. He was dating the Zuko daughter. Like there was some cool stuff in there, but it got canceled after only 30 issues. So
yeah,
didn't really get to live long enough. But then became Grayson, which was really cool as well.
I was about to say Grayson was awesome.
Was cool. Mm-hmm. And then Nightwing Rebirth I thought it was good in the beginning. The Rick Grayson stuff was bad, but now we're at the stuff that is the best since Dixon.
I wish Grayson was brought up more in the comics. A lot of times in Tom Taylor's run alone, these 4 issues, there's a lot of callbacks to before he was where he's at, where he's like the circus boy to Robin to like Disco Wing to Nightwing. Red suits usually there. I wish they showed the secret agent outfit. Because
Yeah.
honestly, Agent 47, I think he was
37.
37. Yeah, Agent 37 was a huge part of Dick Grayson's life. It was roughly a year, and his entire character changed, and it even led into Batman and Robin Eternal, Robin War, We Are Robin. Like that suit appeared a lot in a lot of titles in general. So kind of miss it. But yeah,
Yeah.
seems like it's
I
just
feel
gotten
like
I
forgotten.
mean, listen, we're
DC
getting the best Nightwing content since like 2001, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm happy that he's back in blue and he's on Taylor. I wish you got the finger stripes, but can't have it all.
I feel like we're gonna get to that. I don't know.
I do like the blue palm,
Yeah.
so it's not
Taylor,
a bad.
listen, Taylor hasn't disappointed. I think through 4 issues, I was saying this when Zdarsky started on Daredevil, right? It was perfect issues to begin. I think the first 25 issues of Zdarsky's run are perfect on Daredevil. Through 4 issues on Taylor's Nightwing, I feel the same way. Like I've genuinely thoroughly enjoyed it. And my second favorite character of all time, like I hold high standards. It has reached them and it exceeded them. I think, having Babs as a main character is such a big part of Dick's character that has been missing, since the Dixon run, essentially. In the New 52 and Rebirth, you didn't have Babs as a supporting character. And I think that's what's been missing in Dick's life to try to make that title great again. And I think it's finally back there. And
And they're
part
gonna
of what
get
I
back
said,
together. Like
yeah,
they have to.
and
I want them to get married in like
yes,
2 years in this
they
run.
already got married. Death
I
Metal.
which
know,
didn't
but
really count, but
doesn't
yeah, I mean,
count.
part of what I said in the New 52 that I hated with Nightwing was that they tried to make him too much like Batman. They got rid of his logo on his own title. It was like the Bat logo behind
Oh,
Nightwing.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then they had to move back to Gotham, which I hated. In Taylor's Nightwing, the logo is Nightwing, and he's back in Bloodhaven. He's his own man, and that's what makes Nightwing great is he operates separately from Batman. He doesn't have to be Batman light.
And
No.
within this 4 issues, which a lot has happened so far, the only time we've ever seen Batman is on Bab's shirt. Like we haven't actually seen Batman yet. He hasn't even, I don't think he's even been mentioned, maybe once, but that's about it. And it's nice. It's nice having focus on the family instead. Focus like Tim's in here, Bab's in there. They talked about cast last issue. Like
Damian, I think Damian will appear. Williamson and
Which I
Taylor
love.
get along pretty well, and I think he's going to appear.
I love
It's
Damian
kinda
and Nightwing's
weird.
relationship. So
It's weird how like right now, Nightwing and Detective Comics are both better than like the main Batman title.
that's not to say the main Batman title is bad. I think it's
No,
still
no.
good.
Last issue was good, but I feel like in general, like I'm a little sick of like the new character every arc kind of thing.
Miracle Molly.
I'm kind of just a little burnt out with that.
Yeah,
kinda-
that's fair. Punchline was kind of the only successful one too. So
Oh, I wanted to ask, what's your guys' opinion on the red Nightwing suit?
I think it's
'Cause I've
good. I
always really
understand
liked
why
it.
they did it. I totally get why they
It
did
was cool to switch it up, but I do prefer Dick being in blue, given
too.
that Red Hood, Robin. Like, there's a lot of red already in the.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's why they did the red originally, to match
Yeah.
the others, to match the brothers. But yeah, no, I still prefer blue all the way. I'm glad he's back in blue.
Finger Stripes is
like-
by far the best suit.
I think it's weird how in
Yeah.
that variant cover, how it has the red suit and it doesn't have the Grayson suit. Because what I was trying to say before was, I feel like DC thinks people hate the Grayson era more than people actually do. Like I feel like a lot more people like the whole.
There are
Grayson
people that didn't
Agent
like it.
37.
Mhm. I mean, even when the concept was announced, I was like, "What? Why? Why is Nightwing becoming a secret agent?"
Yeah,
But I don't.
I'm like more of a fan of like the red Nightwing suit, but I still feel like it's kind of weird how that Agent 37 suit wasn't on there.
Yeah, it's never shown. It's never brought up. I wonder if we'll see Spiral again. Tom Taylor does love the history of Dick Grayson, so I can see Spiral appearing again, or like even Huntress, like the current Huntress, was actually Dick Grayson's boss in Grayson before she was Huntress.
She's in Detective right now. She's actually
Yeah, I
a
saw
pretty big
that.
character,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good stuff too. You guys should read Detective. I don't know why you don't. Like,
I don't know why I
Jamie
don't
doesn't hate
either.
Batman.
I don't know why I don't either.
The art is great. They got
Yes, future state artist. Once in future.
yeah, once a future artist,
Mhm.
Dan Mora.
I'll have to get into it, but I just
Yeah, next
yeah.
arc. I'll let you know when the next arc is starting.
sounds
Jump
good.
in.
Nightwing's a 10 for me. Genuinely love the issue. Can't wait for the next one.
9.9. I don't know how I feel about the sister reveal. I don't like it.
I think it's a fake out. Like, I'm not even phased by it.
I know, but I thought like Chip Zdarsky bringing back Daredevil's brother was a fake out, but it wasn't. So
That hasn't really gone anywhere yet, though.
no, it hasn't. So it's strange. 9.9, if I could give it that. So close. Just the
like
reveal
it.
was weird to me.
Babs wearing the Batman slapping Robin t-shirt. Gotta love it.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Yeah. What do you give it, Drew?
I give it a 10. Honestly, when there's a new Nightwing, that's usually the first thing I
First
read.
thing I read.
I'm
That
not
was
a-
the first thing
First
I read.
thing I
yeah.
read.
I'm not a big Nightwing fan, but I really like this run. I'll have to read the Chuck Dixon run.
Well, I was about to ask, have you read the Dixon run before?
No, I never have. So I'd like to read it.
I've read 2 volumes. And I went,
Read 'em
yeah,
all.
that was
Into
good.
it.
The first volume is weird, Drew. It's
Very 90s.
It's extremely 90s.
I
When
like
did
Nightwing
it
has a
came out in the
ponytail.
90s?
Nightwing has a ponytail that goes down to his knees.
It's pretty bad. The ponytail.
I think the 90s is like some of the best stuff. in
best era of
comics.
comics.
In terms of like look and like just the weird changes that they made to like a lot of the characters. That's like my favorite kind of era.
Really?
Wade's Flash, Dixon's
Yeah,
Nightwing,
Wade's
Morrison's
Flash.
Justice League. There's so many great
Green
runs in that
Lantern.
period.
Kyle Rayner.
Great runs.
Kyle's Green Lantern.
I like
Oh,
2000s.
So many of my favorite runs come from that period.
I think I like 2000s
the
the best.
definitive. The definitive look of
94 to
X-Men.
08 is like the golden era of
Oh, wait.
DC.
Okay. Yeah.
For
Honestly-
X-Men, that's like the definitive era in terms of like how they look. The stories are whatever, but like when you think of X-Men, you think of Jim Lee
The
90s.
Jim Lee X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Fair enough. Flash.
Oh
The
man,
cover is so misleading.
Yeah. I was waiting for this the whole time.
I
So
do not like that
the
art.
cover
I
is
hate it.
Barry at Sanctuary, and the variant cover is Wally and Roy. So I'm like, I'm expecting a Roy focused issue, a Heroes of
What?
Crisis focused issue.
I saw that variant. I didn't know it was for this issue.
For this
Yeah,
issue,
Why?
I didn't know that.
Why?
I have no idea.
All right.
It starts with where we ended last issue with the Super Friends Reverse Flash. Wally is in Reverse Flash's body in like the Super Friends cartoon.
Captain Cold.
It's great stuff. I mean, I never really watched Super Friends before my era, but I do think it's very entertaining stuff.
Have you-
and the art is
Have you
super
seen
cool.
any Super Friends?
Like clips? I never seen like a full episode.
I've seen a
Oh,
few
you gotta-
full episodes.
You got to check it out.
You don't have to check it out, JD. It's not.
Just watch like an episode or two and be like, okay.
Watch an episode, and be like, "Wow, this is terrible."
The Division of Man. Yeah, well, 70s cartoons typically are pretty terrible. But I don't know. The artist for the Barry pages, not a big
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either.
It's
This guy
too,
did,
like,
That Barry face is haunting me.
It's too hyper realistic.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the shading's a little odd at times. There's a lot of lines to it. He doesn't draw pupils often, so it's just like and a lot of glare in the eyes too.
It's like doll like glass like eyes.
Yeah. It's a little odd. This guy did a Shazam Future State.
Future State.
Yeah, I didn't like that
Yeah.
either. But yeah,
But
the
anyway,
dialogue though.
Yeah, Reverse Flash gets put on the Legion of Doom. All in favor of those putting Reverse Flash on the Legion of Doom say evil. Evil.
Oh.
Luther is jealous of him. Riddler's like, riddle me this, and then says something obvious, which is so great. Just
Yeah.
the whole dialogue
This is-
here.
riddle me
is-
this: who is bald and rich and angry he didn't kill Superman? Jealous Luthor. And
I
they
think
call out
they
his
even call him
riddles,
out
too.
later. They're like, you don't even. Those aren't even riddles. You just state the obvious.
Yeah, yeah. To quote Lex Luthor, well, Riddler says, "Aha! Reverse Flash was right. Who loves green? Who loves the color green and purple?" And Luthor interrupts and goes, "Me, Riddler, me. Your stupid riddles aren't even riddles. They're just really terrible observations. Watch. Riddle me this: who wears tights and is annoying and paid me to get a seat in the Legion?" Riddler,
Gasp.
Riddler just gasps. It's so funny.
And the Lex's greatness and the Reverse Flash is. I mean, it's great stuff. You know, it's very cartoonish. It's very funny, and it's a good divide for the issue, I think, because
Mhm.
you know what happens later in the issue is definitely not like this.
Yeah. We go
While he's
from-
able to escape
go
the
from
Reverse
this
Flash's bot,
To a
Yeah,
very
that's-
serious scene.
that's great. He slaps around Lex Luthor. While he's able to escape the Reverse Flash's body and he keeps it moving, he's not only going through time, but he's going through kind of universes because he's able to get on like a cartoon. He makes his way to Max Mercury's body in 1832. He makes his way to
Scott Collins art, by the way.
yeah, Scott Collins on that one
Oh,
page.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
I wish there was more Scott in here. I love Scott.
He's an iconic Flash artist. You get him temporarily in Wallace's
Who is that
body.
character? No, who are these two characters?
They're students at Teen Titans Academy.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, like, because
You know, one's named Billy. No, Miguel and Billy.
Yeah.
when I saw Billy, I was like, wait, is that Shazam?
I think it actually is Shazam because I'm pretty sure he is a student. I could be wrong. I'm not reading Teen Titans Academy. I could be wrong. But...
Yeah, but he temporarily drops into Wallace's body, then he goes into Jesse's body, which is great to see, like Wally in all these guys' bodies. You know, it's like him in different suits. He makes his way into Barry's body, and he's jumping around.
Doesn't this almost kind of look like Ethan the Man Skyver a little bit?
I thought it was.
I swear to God, when I got the issue, I was like, no way they got EVS in this issue.
Because he's
like his art.
He's not doing work anymore, right?
Not at DC, Marvel.
Creator own stuff.
Yeah, creator own stuff. But
Cyber Frog thing.
For a second, I was like, oh my God, they got him. But so he's jumping around from body to body, and then he eventually stops in his son, Jai. And this is the best part of the issue. So good. Oh my God. He lands in Jai's body, and he's having a conversation with Irie. But Irie knows exactly what's happening because she's heard this story before from when she was a kid. They're all grown up now, and it's great stuff. I mean, the conversation they have, it's just so good. He finds out that his kids are married. They infer that Jai is married to Gold Beetle, which is from the earlier issue in the arc. Mm-hmm. She said she has a crush on Jai, which is funny.
Yeah.
Wally says that he retired, and Irie's like, "You don't retire from heroing." And she's like, "Well, by the way, that's my cue." Pops up in the Kingdom Come Kid Flash suit. Oh my God! I
love seeing
that suit. I was so unexpected, like so unexpected to see that. But she's Kid Flash. She's Kingdom Come Kid Flash. Like that's what she becomes when she's an adult. That's insane. Oh my God, it's so good. And she says, like, you see, Dad, the Flash family has done all right for themselves. Oh man, it's so good. You know,
I hope one day
she walks Wally through, and she's like, everything's gonna be all right. You know, you're gonna go on all these adventures. You had your ups, you had your downs, but now things are really gonna start getting better for you. But you have one more hump to get over, and that's the return to Heroes in Crisis, which is where the issue ends. But oh my God, Irie was so good in this issue.
I hope one day she's like the Flash. You know, like
in the perfect universe, it goes from Jay to Barry to Wally to Bart to Irie. It's the way it goes. Imagine.
And now that there's the strength
Bart
force,
is the Flash worked out, and Irie was his sidekick. My God, that would be amazing.
Oh, that
would be cool. Like if they had her as the Flash and had Jai, you know, come up with his own name, and now that there's the strength force, it kind of explains why he, you know, had his like super strength for a while. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'd be down for like a brother sister Flash team up kind of thing.
Probably not.
I know you're a fan of the twins because you're like the only fan of the Tornado Twins like that exists.
I love the Tornado Twins. Yeah,
I love all 6 of their appearances.
Yeah, all 6 there.
Maybe 5. They don't appear much. Sanctuary. What do you guys think will happen? Will we reverse it? Like change it? I mean, those are all dead. I don't think anything's
going to reverse. I don't think anything's going to change. I think it's going to be Wally kind of fully accepting what's happening, and this is going to be the last that we see of Heroes in Crisis.
Hopefully.
Because yeah,
I think this is the closure on it.
Usually when I see something like this, I'm like, here we go again. But now I'm really curious.
I mean, this issue was great. Jeremy Adams has a very positive attitude on Wally West, and I mean, it's exactly what he said in the interviews before he started writing Flash, that he's not here to make Wally suffer. He's here to highlight what makes the character great. And this issue is exactly what that is. I mean, kudos to Adams and the editors for doing the Kingdom Come Kid Flash suit. I was really not expecting that, but that's what Irie should become. And kind of opening that future projection. I mean, that's how you start a run. You know, when Mark Waid started his Flash run, the very first issue is about John Fox, who doesn't end up appearing for like 40 more issues. So you can kind
Yeah.
of foreshadow, and you could plant seeds that could eventually come true. So I hope that this isn't the last that we see of grown up Irie.
I don't think it is. Yeah, I think I could see even a Flash event happening with a ton of speedsters, and she could be one of them traveling back.
This is probably my favorite Flash issue since Speed Metal. Really loved it. Really dug it.
Yeah,
Yeah, really good issue.
Not that
forgot-
Speed Metal was that long ago, but like this was very good.
Speed Metal was like November. So yeah, it has been a while.
This was great. Jeremy Adams killed it, and I'm so excited to see what's next. I just wish the cover wasn't so misleading.
Yeah, me too. I kept waiting for that. So 2 big comics came out this week: Planet Size X-Men and Venom. I mean, like big as in like this is major for the comic in general. I'll quickly go over Mighty Valkyrie because that's the last like regular issue, and then maybe we'll jump into X-Men and then Venom. Mighty Valkyrie, real quick. I was going to ask you a question, JD, what you thought, because you kind of know more about CGC than I would. Issue 1 of this is the first appearance of Runa, who is the Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok. She was an original character for the MCU, and then she was just brought into the comics from issue 1 of the Mighty Valkyrie. Do you think they'll have value one day? Because, I mean, technically the first appearance is the movie.
Depends
But
on
the
what happens
first-
with the next movie.
Yeah. So the first appearance in comics is the first issue.
Yeah, which came out 2 months ago.
So the thing about modern books is typically it's hard for them to hold value unless the character really skyrockets. But
Right.
I mean, it's a good one to hold on to, I think. I mean, look
Okay.
at characters like Jessica Cruz. That's a new character whose first appearance holds a lot of value now.
It does, yeah. I was more so curious because like she appeared after her live action.
Yeah, like the movie first, and then came. I mean, that's like the Harley Quinn, the
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Phantasm, that kind of thing.
Her
Like,
first
23.
appearance is worth a lot, right?
well, Harley Quinn's
Harley?
insane. That was insane. But
Yeah.
some people appear in media and then appear in comics. Arkham Knight,
True. Yeah. I was just
it
curious.
really depends if the character takes off in the media, in the movie.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Love and Thunder. That was news of the week. The Thor leak. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about that. Oh, well, I
Sure.
guess while we're on the topic real quick of Jane Foster, her suit looks pretty accurate. Doesn't have blonde
Yeah.
hair, but I'm okay with that because she has black hair as a Valkyrie and black hair as Jane Foster, or brown hair as Jane Foster. So that leak is cool. There's a Thor leak for those who don't know, showing off the suit on a t-shirt that's kind of like an older style t-shirt. So there's not much detail that we can tell, but it looks
Hunter, I
like-
could see you wearing that shirt. Like when I saw that shirt, I immediately thought like I could see Hunter.
yeah, I'll be
rocking that.
wearing. I wear superhero shirts for a living, so
Yeah.
no, I'll definitely want that shirt in general. Jane's holding Mjolnir, which looks like it has cracks in it. And it's probably reforged, so we'll have to wait and see. Plus Thor's armor that looks awesome. So this run in general is 2 stories in one. It's Jane fighting Kraven for some reason, and it's Runa, who is the other Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok and whatnot. She is dealing with just saving people in general. She's like a new Valkyrie. She doesn't really want to be a hero, but she has to be. And basically she has to find Jane. We don't really know why yet, so she's hunting down Jane Foster. Loki is also in this. He's not in the Thor books right now. He's in this, and he's dealing with gods are being born at the moment as like children. So he's like, we need someone to raise these gods, and Hell is returning. So it's a lot of information. It's a lot. If you're into the Thor comics and want more Thor characters, I highly recommend this. But it is a lot of stuff happening at once. Next issue is the first time Thor Ragnarok's Valkyrie meets Thor. So it's interesting how they're like really close in the movies, but they've never met in the comics. So that's happening next. I give Flash a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I give Valkyrie.
10 out of 10 for sure.
Yeah, I'll give Valkyrie like 8. It's enjoyable. Drew, JD and I don't know what an X-Men is. You want to explain?
Oh.
What is the X of men?
Planet-size X-Men? That sounds terrifying.
Planet size X-Men.
Size of a
So
planet?
basically, this is like the big one shot. It's written by Jerry Duggan, who's doing Marauders. So basically, after this, they're doing another X-Men #1, and Jerry Duggan's going to be writing that. The last issue of Hickman's X-Men, they announced the new team. So this issue basically covers the big reveal of the whole Hellfire Gala, the whole reason why they're having it. And it kind of just shows like them, a bunch of mutants like Magneto, Elixir, Hope, Vulcan, just kind of like reforming Mars and making it habitable. It kind of like goes back and kind of touches on some stuff from X of Swords or Ten of Swords, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And basically, like the mutants that they fought in the tournament, they're sending all those mutants to Mars, and they renamed Mars Arakko, which was the island that was on the other side of Krakoa. So now Arakko, the old landmass of Arakko, is a part of Krakoa, and all those mutants are up on Mars, which is now Arakko. A lot of people are kind of scared because now the X-Men have their own planet. It's technically the first mutant planet. There's a scene where it shows Cyclops and Cap meeting up before the Hellfire Gala, and he's kind of just like, oh, we detected a landmass of 500% added to Krakoa. So it shows kind of everybody's kind of afraid because now mutants are getting more and more powerful. They're kind of, in a way, taking over. And Cap has a line where he basically said that he wasn't going to the Hellfire Gala, but now he's going because he wants to know what's going on. It's really cool. Yeah, it was a cool scene. I'll show the art. You guys might have seen this.
I have seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
The art's really
pretty
nice.
Cool. Pepe Larraz, he drew this issue, and I think he did House or he did Powers of 10.
Yeah.
He did one of them.
I think
it was House.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, it seems like he's kind of like the big X-Men event artist right now. But the cool thing is he's going to be doing the ongoing of the next X-Men series. So I'm kind of excited for that.
It's kind of like to read or not to read.
Yeah.
I would check it out. Okay. I like the team. It's a little divided, but I think
Hunter's going to get 7 issues in, be terribly confused, and stop. I could already predict that.
Yeah. No, I will.
All Hunter wants to do is start at a giant size X-Men #1 and make his way to the present day. Take 10 years to do so.
I don't think I'll
good luck.
do that. Yeah, no. I'll start at like 90s, maybe 2000.
New X-Men by Grant Morrison.
Maybe.
Or Astonishing X-Men by Whedon.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's kind of like a lot of people speculated that this issue was just going to be the mutants going to Mars. They didn't really expect them to send the Iraqi up to Mars, which is kind of like odd, but they're kind of like a race of mutants that just know war. So it's like, in a way, they're kind of doing the humans a favor by getting rid of these warrior-like mutants. But it's kind of what you expect. Like a lot of like one-page spreads. The art is like really dynamic. It's like, I'll show you guys a picture. Yeah, like this. That's pretty cool. Magneto and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Really good. I liked it a lot. Here's another one. Just beautiful art. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think you should check out X-Men #1.
Yeah, I might have to now. Okay. Okay. What do you rate it?
Yeah. I'd probably give it an 8.5.
That's not bad.
I liked it, but I was a little skeptical. I don't know.
Yeah, how do you feel about Mars?
I like it, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, what does this mean? Because the way they're marketing X-Men #1 is, the new heroes of Earth. So, like, it shows them fighting in New York. So it's kind of like, that's weird. Like, why would you set up this if you're not going to...
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be some kind of spin-off book with whatever these characters, these new ones, because you guys don't really know anything about Ten of Swords, but there was a ton of new characters, like the original Horseman of Apocalypse, like his children. And I was telling one of you about Solom, who is like the new Wolverine rival. He has adamantium skin. He's showing up in the Wolverine ongoing again. So I just wonder, like, what's going to happen with these new characters?
I mean, there's so many X books, so I guess they have time. They have
X-Men is
different areas to spread out.
very, very complicated because there's so many characters.
I know.
It's good, but
I know.
like the Hellfire Gala, that was I got a bunch of other issues this week too, just like Hellfire Gala tie-ins. They're all basically just the different perspectives of the same night. And at the
Okay.
end of the first one, it just was like everyone's walking out of this room and was like, wow, which now we know is them taking over Mars.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of like they're reading the same thing over and over again, different dialogue. Like, I don't know. I'm a little burnt out from it. But the cool thing about it is, you know how they had the reading order at the end of House and Powers? Of like, oh, you got to read this.
Oh,
and that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that. So for this, it's not quite like Ten of Swords was, where it's like, oh, part 1, part 2, part 3, up to 22. They have all these. It's an event, but you don't have to read everything except for they have ones that are marked in red. I'll show you guys. So there's only really like 5 or 6 that they recommend you reading. So this is it.
Versus like, you don't need to read this.
So like Marauders, that was the first one. Then it's X-Men, which unveiled the new team. Then Planet, and then Sword. Oh, another thing too. They built another Sword facility to watch over Mars or Rocco.
Do the X-Men know? Do the X-Men know that?
Yeah, they actually made it. Like they used what his name was, but they used this mutant that basically gave birth to the new Sword facility. It was a really weird scene. Like he has like reality warping abilities, and he basically gave birth to the new Sword facility. So that was kind of weird. Yeah, this is it right here. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's just, yeah, it was a weird one.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know what's gonna happen with Hickman after the 4-issue miniseries that he's gonna do, the Inferno.
Might be on a different title, or just retire again.
I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay as head of X, but I wonder if he's gonna be writing anything.
Yeah.
Not really. But yeah, that was X-Men. I give it 8.5. Really enjoyed it, but definitely wasn't my favorite comic this week.
Venom 200. This is the finale of Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's run, which you guys both should read. And the person listening who hasn't read it, you should read too. Harper,
I got Marvel Unlimited now, so that's very doable.
Is it all? No, it's not all Marvel Unlimited, of course, but probably a lot of it is.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
I think they release stuff like 2 months sometimes after.
2 months, yeah.
So
typically like 2 months.
So yeah, you should check it out. It's really good. So not to spoil anything, but this is the finale. And it starts by going over like the history of this run, which is cool, and just Eddie remembering. There's a few different artists on here, but essentially King in Black, which we reviewed on the podcast, ended with Eddie Brock becoming the King in Black. Doing so, he can now be in several places at once. He is God of all symbiote, and he does it to help people and warn people. He's in a cafe with Spider-Man, and he's having just fries with him. I think they call it a cafe. I don't think it is a cafe though. Anyways, he's talking to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man blames himself for everything that's happened. He blames himself for Eddie and like the symbiote and everything, and he breaks down in front of Eddie, being like people have died because of this. Planets have been killed because of Null. It's my fault because I brought back the first symbiote to Earth. I wore the suit and I wasn't strong enough to take it off. I could have stepped up. I could have thrown it away, but I wasn't strong enough to, and it's all my fault. And Eddie kind of explains like, actually, symbiotes have had a plan to conquer Earth for thousands of years, and Null has always had his eye on Earth. It's not your fault at all. Symbiotes have been here before you, and they'll be here after you, which kind of calms Spider-Man down in a way. The issue kind of goes over what Eddie's been doing, and he's been going to every major Marvel team. So he goes to the Avengers, he goes to the X-Men, he talks to Silver Surfer, he goes to the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Fantastic Four. Well, he actually doesn't go to the Fantastic Four, but he warns them of probably Marvel's next event, essentially. Throughout this run, there's been a reoccurring villain, and that is the Maker. Do you guys know who that is?
That's Charles Xavier.
No,
that's
Reed Yeah,
Mhm.
Mr.
From the-
Fantastic. I meant.
from the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, so it's one of the few survivors of Miles Morales' universe, essentially, the maker, and he is Reed Richards gone absolutely insane. Because it's basically a what if story. What if Reed Richards, smartest man in Marvel, lost everything? So that's who he is. He's just a crazy Reed Richards, and he's trying to kill Venom essentially. There's an arc in Donny Cates' run where he builds a portal back to the Ultimate Universe, but it kind of cracks and breaks down when Eddie's destroying it essentially by accident. And it turns out it's a portal into a Venom type universe, which he kind of gets sucked into. But basically, Venom, Eddie Brock tells everyone, like, to quote him, I guess, I have come to all of you. I believe that the Maker is coming back. I believe that he's in contact with a group that calls itself the Council of Reeds, which was made by Jonathan Hickman in his Fantastic Four run. It's essentially the multiverse room from DC Comics that Flash goes to all the time, except it's only Reed Richards from different universes.
Okay.
And they all talk, and they all one of the Reed Richards is insane. One of them is always stretched out all the time. One of them wields the Infinity Gauntlet, and they all go there and they just talk. Regular Reed Richards went there in Jonathan Hickman's early 2000s Fantastic Four run, and it took a long time to convince him not to talk to the council because they're all like him. They all have the ideas that he has. So it took him a lot of convincing from Susan, his wife, Invisible Woman, to get out of the council. But anyways, Venom goes on by saying, a group that calls themselves the Council of Reeds. I believe that they have a council of interdimensional duplicates of himself that issued him a sort of a challenge in order to join their ranks. If he is to become one of them, he must restore his own failed universe. It is my belief that he will hope to accomplish this by invading our own, essentially replacing our universe with his own. This is not a battle I can fight on my own. It'll take all of our might together to defeat him. And then Iron Man is kind of like, is this real? Like, where are you getting this information from? Like, I get that, but help me out here. When is this invasion even supposed to happen? And Venom keeps being cut off because he's talking to other people out there in the world. It ends with Captain America saying, you should join the Avengers. Like, we need you. And he's like, I can't right now. Like, I'm too busy. I'm a god now. I basically can't. But he does say, I actually know someone who might be interested, though. And the next page is a splash page of Flash Thompson as Agent Anti-Venom. So Flash Thompson died in Spider-Man 700, I believe. No, I think it's 700.
800, wasn't
800, yeah. He's back now, but he's still legally dead. No one actually knows he's alive except for Eddie. And he's trying to keep it that way because he's like, I've been in this world long enough. I know when I've been in the costume and mask biz long enough to know that ones who come back from the dead don't always stay back for very long. So he's like, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm just going to help people out. And he just has a mini story in here. To wrap it up, the issue ends with Eddie Brock's son, Dylan Brock, basically becoming Venom's legacy. He is now the new Venom.
Shit.
Yeah, since
Really?
Eddie
cool.
is godlike, he doesn't really have time to be like just the hero Venom. He doesn't have time to just like stop muggers on the street and stuff because he's going to be like cosmic Venom in a way. So his old symbiote attaches itself to Dylan and becomes the new Venom. Basically.
So how old is Dylan? Is he like a little kid? Or?
He's a high schooler.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. I like that.
He is young, but yeah, he's Venom now.
So is the Al Ewing run gonna have Dylan Venom in it?
I don't know, because the Al Ewing run so far, what we know of is it's gonna be about Eddie in space because that's what he's doing, because he's a god now. So I don't know. I guess it's just if there's ever like a comic, a Spider-Man comic or something where Venom teams up with Spider-Man, it'll be Dylan. It won't be Eddie, because Eddie's like beyond that now.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So his suit's very much the same. There's only slight differences. This is a suit right here. So it's a lot more sleek logo because it goes down more. The eyes are round instead of like all spiky, and he has chains on his arms. And he doesn't use webs anymore. He uses black chains, which is I think a reference to Todd McFarlane because he
like Spawn, like
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And Eddie even asks him like, "Why do you have chains?" And Dylan replies, "I don't know. I thought webs were maybe played out. Plus, all the comics I read growing up had chains. I just think they're cool." So that's basically what Todd McFarlane said when asked why.
What's your name? Dylan. Dylan what? Dylan McFarlane.
Essentially. But the last page has him like just leaving out, and he's using chains instead of webs, which I think looks pretty
That
cool.
looks cool.
That's neat.
It does look neat. And that's Venom 200, the finale. Highly recommend. I know I just spoiled it for you, JD, but
Well, yeah, I mean, I got
That's
Marvel
really cool.
Unlimited, so now I could.
I mean, the
check it
Venom
out.
run in general is really cool. There's stuff with the there's a lot of stuff with the Maker. There's a Miles Morales arc that where he teams up with Miles to take on people. King in Black is just such a good event that happened recently.
I really want to read that.
Like, it's so good. So yeah, just in general, don't let the Chip Zdarsky tie-in story lead you away, because it is a good book in general. I give Venom 200 a 9 out of 10, but I give the run, 9 out of 10. I'll give the run a 9 out of 10. There was only one arc that I thought was just okay. The rest of it's like really good. So yeah.
Now on to Donny Cates' Hulk soon. I don't know when
yeah,
that's-
I'm excited for that. I'm glad
that's
they
gonna be really good.
And Donny Cates is also writing a Spawn book too, so there'll be
Oh.
Titans everywhere. And that's the hero story.
Wow, episode went quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
it
have
was
one-
fun. A
I
fun
have one more
episode.
thing to say.
Oh yeah, what's up?
JD, are you ready for your fight this Saturday against Harper?
Oh
Against
yeah.
Harper, June 19th, right?
Or is he pulling out of it?
Well, he has the whole Kangaroo Jack situation. so-
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. If as long as Tim Hortons is sponsoring, we're fighting.
What's your prediction, Hunter? Who's winning? What round?
Oh, I can't say. I'm actually more curious about JD. What do you have anything to say before the
Oh, it's
fight?
first round KO. There's 2 hits. I hit him, and he hits the ground.
Okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see. One of them lives in across the literal ocean, so I don't know how this fight's gonna happen, but it all depends on the Kangaroo Jack situation. If Harper cannot get
That
his
is true.
hoodie back,
He's still got to make it to the Kangaroos this week.
It's gonna be in Australia. JD's gonna beat him on his home turf.
I gotta go to the home turf.
He's
just go
taking
over
it.
to his door, just slam. I'm curious who would win. It's gonna happen one day for sure. It might be a little bit
One day,
delayed
yeah.
because of Kangaroo Jack, but one day we'll see.
And then
Next
you're
week,
gonna fight a certain creator. You know who?
Rob
Yeah,
Liefeld,
Rob Liefeld.
who blocked me on Instagram, by the way. Holy shit!
That's gonna be the.
I've literally not even one time interacted with him on Instagram. I've never followed him, never commented, never even looked at his posts. Blocked me on
just
Instagram.
blocked you.
I was gonna make like a fake like card, like a UFC kind of card, and it was gonna be JD Harper main event, Hunter Rob Liefeld co-main event.
Well, he blocked me for a reason. I called him out on some bad things that he's done.
I think
in
it's
the
weird
past.
how he blocked JD. That's so like random. That means
Yeah.
he must know that you guys are affiliated.
I
somehow.
think so.
Probably heard
I
of
think
Hero
so.
Story and went,
He
nope.
listens to the podcast.
He
Yeah.
listened to the podcast and he was
Ooh.
like, I don't like those boys.
Yeah, probably not.
Draw feet, Rob.
Draw better feet. Next week, I can't remember what comics are out next week, but there's probably a Spider-Man issue.
They'll
So
be there.
JD is on the moon that week, so I don't think you can make it.
I will be away next week, so I will not be on the show. So enjoy me this week because I will not be here.
Harper will probably get the kangaroo by then, and Tyler will hopefully brutally injure some muggers, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Drew, thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure to
Thanks for
have you
having
on
me. It
again.
was awesome.
Where can we find
Um,
you for people who want to find you?
Just at Drew Dennis. Yeah, just
I-
at Drew Dennis. And you know, I used to always say Dennis Designs, but I have Dennis Designs in my bio. So
Oh,
Drew
just
Dennis.
so go to your bio from Drew Dennis on
yeah,
Instagram.
like I post more comic stuff on my my main Instagram. But if you want to see like the comics that we're working on or any graphic design stuff, check out Dennis Designs. But yeah, I post comic stuff.
I
more
guess
on my main.
we could kind of sort of say what we've been doing recently too, because the three of us we make comics. We made the Price Hero Pays, which is a comic that if you want to buy, message us, or just go on
It's also on
Comixology.
Comixology.
Yeah, go on Comixology, the app or the website, and just type in a hero story, and you'll be able to get all the stuff we've worked on. We made a mini series, well, a mini story, I guess, that's done.
It's like a one shot.
Yeah, it's done and it'll be on Comixology soon, but we're doing the backup story that has literally 1 page left. So it'll be done pretty quick here and it'll be on Comixology. The main story is called Stranger in the Night. JD, you wrote it. So what's it about?
A Stranger in the Night.
There we go. And
That's
then the
it.
backup story is called There's No Need to Hide, which
Because there is no need to hide.
because there's no need to hide.
That's
It's
it,
funny,
yeah.
like we'll talk about more when it comes out, but There's No Need to Hide became an idea because I needed to draw a billboard in the background of Stranger in the Night, and I made a creepy looking one because I'm like, it's a parody of Meet Dave essentially. And JD was like, huh, this could be
There's
a story.
there. The famous JD quote. There's a story there.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, working with these guys is the best. You know, the stuff they turn out is great. They turn my script into some pretty amazing stuff, which is always cool to see how they enhance it.
Mhm.
Really happy with the way Stranger turned out, and super excited to see more of There's No Need to Hide. I can't wait till you guys can see it on Comixology, and then hopefully we'll be working on some big projects soon, some more printed stuff, I hope.
For sure, 100%. That's
Definitely,
gonna
yeah.
happen this year probably. So
Only up to go from here. So
Mhm.
thanks for listening to the episode. If you want to check us out, you can check out our other side shows such as Book Club, which just released recently on
Right.
YouTube.
Mhm.
Just search up A Hero Story on YouTube. Subscribe while you're over there because we need more YouTube subscribers so we could monetize, bitches.
Yeah.
Follow, like, all that shit. For A Hero Story, I'm JD.
And I'm Hunter, and thanks for being a hero.
And remember, every second is a gift. Goodbye.
Well,
Woo.